Hey, John here again. As you know, I am still at the My Arcade booth here at CES 2025, and yesterday I endeavored to try to give you at least a peek at everything that's here at the show. And then today, I spent last night at the hotel reading your comments, and I want to give you a closer look at some of the items. So right now I want to show you, we looked of course at the Gamestation Go, which is right here behind me, and we're going to take it in the back room, turn it on, take a look at it, and show you not only it, the UI, some of that, and the new controllers you can use with it. Let's go. So I was able to pull these away from the show floor for just a minute to show you. I've got the Gamestation Go. I've also got the two controllers here. Now keep in mind, everything I show you at this point is preliminary. This thing is still at least 6 months away from release. There is more to be done, more to be tweaked, more to be added or modified or whatever. So, but we can, unlike last year, we can power it on. Now I don't know how well you're able to hear it in this noisy environment, so I'll just have to narrate. Maybe you can hear that a little bit. It's so noisy in here. So you can see the smart glow around the around all the controls, the A, B, X, Y, and now it's showing you what you need to navigate the menu, which is just the D-pad and the A. So you can see only illuminated what you need. Oh, I should point out, of course, on the back, you have this kickstand that can pop out, so it can stand up. There's that vent on the back, and here on the top, of course, you can see here is the home button, power, micro SD. This is the power indicator, I guess. Here's the 5-volt in for charging, HDMI out, headphone jack, and there's that volume rocker. Okay, so what is in this? So 200 games. I did a quick inventory. Of that, I counted about 140 or so Atari games, and then Balls of Steel is there, the other stuff, plus there's some other Pico and Jalico stuff they've added here to flesh out the 200, but it's easily 150 plus Atari games. So I'll give you a look at those. We'll hop in here. So staff picks is something that they did, which is kind of cool, but I can show you 2600 stuff, which goes for days and days. I'll flip through this, so those of you wanting to pause your video, want to see what is on it right now, easy to take a look. Flip through this. All right. Come back 5200 games. More of those could certainly be added. Most notably, though, Star Raiders is here because we have a numpad. 7800 stuff is here. Atari Arcade goes for more than just a page. Keeps on going here. Flip on through that. There we go, we did out of that. Then we have some M Network represented here. What do you not see right now? Oh, yeah, you don't see in television, you don't see Lynx, you don't see Jaguar, any of that. My understanding is none of that's off the table yet, but not currently integrated. There is some negotiating. It's not a matter of what My Arcade wants to add, it's what Atari wants them to add or not add, I understand. But you can also go into individual items and you can flag them as your favorites. And when you do that, you come into favorites and they're listed here. So you can put your favorite things there. And of course, recent play. So we can pop back out. I'm going to come back to Balls of Steel because I'm going to play a little bit of that and show you. Pac-Man is represented here. You wouldn't necessarily care so much. 3 versions of Pac-Man though. There's the original Pac-Man, Pac-Man Speed Up, and the original Atari 2600 Pac-Man made its way here. My colleague George is going to be really stoked about. He loves this bad version of Pac-Man, but it is included. Here are the Jalico games that I mentioned, 8, 16-bit, and arcade. The Pico games, 8, 16-bit, and arcade as well. And then you have full settings. So I mentioned that this now has Wi-Fi. I can show you that. So it's up the Wi-Fi, or up the brightness, music on off. Update over the network. Look at there. I can see local networks that are here on the CES show floor. You see your system version, factory reset, register. There's no FAQ or anything. And again, all this preliminary. Atari Recharged. So talk about that briefly. Centipede Recharged is here. There are others coming from what I understand. And you can see coming soon. Well, John, do I have to buy those? No. I have and I had to ask this like 3 times to make sure I understood. As other recharged titles are available, they will be included with firmware updates that you download over Wi-Fi. So you get Centipede Recharged out of the gate with more coming, which I think is pretty cool. Atari, let me show you the Balls of Steel right quick. Barbarian, Mutation, Missile Command. Oh, the Missile Cannon Man I want to try. Devil's Island. I was going to play a little bit of any of these. Let's look at the Missile Command one. Oop. So here's the Missile Command one. We'll just hit a button and fire it up. Goes into loading. And there we are. With a coin And we're playing Missile Command. And we're using the bumpers, the shoulder buttons for the flippers, right? Oh, this is the first time I've seen this table. This is kind of cool. I'm not the biggest pinball fan in the world, but I do find this interesting. And it's fluid. You know, what else is worth noting? Look at the view angle on this screen. It's surprisingly good. This is a new screen that my arcade's never used before. I know there's a lot of reflection, but it doesn't just fade out to gray, does it? Like, you can still see that screen pretty well. A lot of angles. Anyway, home button up here. I hit the home. Jumps us back out. Home again to the main menu. So what else have I not mentioned? I think I covered all the key things. There's a lot more to see. Oh, I should look at it. Was one thing with the trackball here that I don't have. Verified, this is a paddle. Let's jump into some trackball game. So you can see here I've launched Missile Command, both the trackball is illuminated and the X, A, B buttons for the 3 firing turret locations. So let's put in a credit. Let's hit start. Yeah. You know, you can whip around the screen. You can't do that with a stick of any kind. Now they're still tweaking the, you know, all the sensitivity and how this it responds to you. But I mean, the trackball does what it should. It's the right way to play Missile Command, and that's pretty cool. All right, we'll shift over and show you the controllers right quick. Okay, so this is the gamepad controller, very much like having the Gamestation Go in your hand without having the screen in the middle. Now you can turn it on and you can see there is a little backlit. You can barely see it here. I think the battery's kind of weak here, but it says Atari in it. So you can use this as a controller or a secondary controller for multiplayer. All that is supported here. And the same buttons are available. You have the same credit, start, options, all those are here. So, and then finally, let's take a look at the arcade stick. Now this is a beefy boy. Let's turn that guy on. There you go. You can see, here's our paddle. Here's our buttons. Here are all our option buttons. Trackballs here. That feels really good. Big bat top joystick. I heard people asking, hey, isn't this trackball in the way of the stick? Certainly not for me. I mean, my hands, I have to work to touch that trackball if I want it to be in the way. But I have access to, there's my AB, X, Y across the bottom, and then we have the shoulder buttons are up there. So, yeah. So that's the suite of Gamestation Go stuff. This new handheld has a ton of potential, and as I said, what you saw is its current state. There's still at least 6 months before this releases. A lot more can be added and done with it. They're still talking about the possibility of adding some of those other platforms we're interested in, plus there's the expandability we know about. So we'll stay on top of this rest of now and moving in after CES as this nears release. More to come from CES 2025. Be sure to stick around, and I'll talk to you again shortly. Bye-bye.